Hey folks, welcome back to our Dice Tower preview. I'm Mark, and today we're taking a look at Tokaido Namiji. Tokaido Namiji is brought to you by FunForge. It's for 2 to 5 players, ages 8 and up, and games range anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. In this game, you play a fisherman of the Japan of yesteryear, sailing south, not far from the famous Tokaido. In order to win the game, you will have to make your journey very fruitful by contemplating various marine life, by fishing with hook and net, and filling your racks with exotic fish. You will also be stopping at docks along the way in order to improve your fishing equipment, as well as making offerings to the deities. So if you're familiar with Tokaido, a lot of this will be very familiar. However, it is a different game for sure. And again, you are after the most victory points. Now, to set up, it's very straightforward. You have your various tokens. You have your hook or your fish tokens that you'll mix up and place face down. You have various cards. You have your panorama cards. You're creating these beautiful vistas as you sail around. You got your dock cards, which are the cards that will help you improve your equipment and things you're doing in the game. You have your rock cards. Now these rock cards are secret objectives that you will be scoring at the end of the game or hope to be scoring. You have your net tokens, which are going to give you even more fish than the hook tokens do. And you have your starting ships, which all correspond to your player board. And these player boards will have racks where we'll be placing all the fish that you catch along the way. And on these player boards, you also have the offerings that you're trying to get rid of because they do give you negative points at the end of the game. And you have the bag of crustaceans. This is the bag where you'll be pulling tokens in order to find shrimp in your traps, hoping to not net any crabs. So at the bottom of the board, you'll be placing your scoring token that matches the color of your board and your ship. Now, throughout the game, you're going to be scoring points, but there's also, again, those secret objectives. They're going to give you more points at the end of the game if you fulfill them. And if you reach port first, you have numbered victory tokens, which you will net as you become first, second, and third into port. Now, gameplay here is very straightforward. You're going to be moving along the track and performing actions. And just like Tokaido, the player in the furthest or last position will go first. Now, along the path, you'll find that there are some spots that allow for 2 ships to take the same action, but this is only true in 4 and 5 player games. All right, so let's take a look at these different spots along the board. Now, 3 of the spots are panoramas that you can create. And you have the dolphin, you have the octopus, and you have the whale. The dolphin is a 3-card panorama, the octopus is 4, and the whale is 5. And these cards will give you points as you move through the game, hoping to complete the collection and get the ultimate points for that panorama. But it is a bit of a race to complete those panoramas first, because if you do, you're going to get bonus points related to that panorama. Next, we have the crustacean traps. These are pretty cool because you have a bag of shrimp. Well, you hope it's shrimp. You're pulling from this bag up to 5 tokens. It's a bit of a push your luck. You don't have to pull 5 tokens. You can stop at any time, but you're looking for shrimp. If you pull 2 crabs, then you lose the entire catch. But for every shrimp that you get without pulling the crabs, you're going to gain 1 victory point, and you'll collect those on your board. But remember, 2 crabs is going to cause you to lose the entire catch. And now a big portion of this game is all about fishing. You've got line fishing and you've got net fishing. Throwing out your line, you go to the single tokens. Now you have a choice. You can pull either a face-up token or a face-down token and add it to your rack. Now your rack, you're trying to create rows and columns of fish that either match color or shape in order to score points. Now, you have to start in the top left corner of the rack and work your way out. And every token that you add to the rack has to fit orthogonal next to one that already is there. But if you get a fish that you don't like, you can throw it back. And when you do, it goes back to the school face up. Also, after you complete your line fishing, you will find another token out there and flip it face up, giving other players more knowledge about what type of fish are available. Now there's also net fishing, which is a stack of tokens, but these give you 2 fish. And when you place them in your rack, you can put them in vertical or horizontal. But just like with line fishing, you can choose to throw these fish back if they don't match what you're trying to do. but you'll place it at the bottom of the net tokens. So at the beginning of the game, you have placed 4 offering tokens on your player board. If you hold on to these, you're going to get negative points at the end of the game. So you want to stop along your path and make those offerings to the deities to avoid negative points. Now let's take a look at docks. This is your mandatory stopping off point, giving your fishermen a chance to rest and improve their equipment. Now there's cards associated with this spot, but as each boat arrives, you'll place them in order from top to bottom. Order is very crucial here because the player at the top will be the one to draw cards. You're going to draw cards equal to the number of players plus 1. Now these cards are going to do various things to help you throughout the game, like reinforced nets or cards that allow you to throw the first crab that you pull from the crustacean bag back into the ocean. And there are also cards here that allow you to fish for more than 1 fish at a time. So they definitely help you as you move through the game. And what you're going to do as the first player is you'll look through the cards, pick one, add it to your collection, and hand the set of cards to the next player. They will do the same, and it will go around through all the players until the last player is picked. Now, the last player, their advantage here is the fact that they get to move first out of the dock. Now, again, like all the Tokaido games, you can only move forward, you can never move back. So your progress must always be that. Now finally, let's take a look at the rock space. This is where you pull cards for your secret objectives. And as you grab these cards, you're going to draw one off the top and you can add it to your collection. Again, face down, you don't want anyone to see it, but these cards are going to really change up how you play the game. You know, there might be cards in here that only require you to get one of each of the panoramas in order to score a certain number of points. So it might dictate what you're doing throughout the game based on the cards that you have in your hand. And all these rocks cards are going to be scored at the end of the game. They are secret objectives. So as you complete your journey around the board, as you come back into the main port, there are victory point tokens to collect. Being first obviously gives you the most, but they do diminish from there. So then you're going to calculate points from your rock cards, and really those are like the end scoring that you'll be doing. And throughout the game, you will be collecting points. So a lot of what you do will gain you points as you go. Now, the thing here though, don't forget, if you haven't offered up all your offerings to the whirlpool, well, you're going to get negative points, which could lose you the game. All right, folks, just a reminder once again, this has been a Dice Tower paid preview, and everything you've seen here has been in prototype form. So keep a close eye on the campaign for any changes that still may occur. Now, this definitely has that Tokaido feel to it. It has a lot of the same types of gameplay, but they've really mixed it up and done some different things here. I rather enjoyed it. And it has, again, that kind of zen feeling. It's a relaxing game. There's not really high pressure happening. I like how the different ships move, just like in Tokaido, from last position as you move into the docks, and how those different items you get from the docks really do improve what you're doing out on the board as you fish and do various things. But ultimately, folks, if this looks like a game that would be of interest to you, I'm sure they'd appreciate your support. So I think that's it for me, and until next time, we'll see you at the table.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando, in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.